Welcome back to Westmoreland on the Gridiron. Sean Meyers now joined by John Thompson, the head coach of the Greensburg Central Catholic Centurions, who are riding high with a three-game winning streak. And JT, first off, thanks for taking the time to do this. I know you got to feel awfully good about where your team is at. Three consecutive wins. What stands out about this streak?
Appreciate you having me, Sean. Just the overall team coming together and multiple contributions from multiple players that have really stepped up in terms of kids with injuries that are bumps and bruises that we need to maybe spell guys or anything like that. But we've been playing a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and seeing them mature and get experience has been awesome to watch.
I would imagine just about any time you're interviewed about your football team, it starts with Samir Crosby. So I'm going to go a different direction. We'll touch on him momentarily. Him and Landon Honick have been there all season, but recently Jerry Davis, Jackson McMullen, Tucker Lloyd, guys like that, and certainly players on both sides of the line have stepped up. So is this team getting better? And how have you seen market improvement from maybe just a few weeks ago?
Yeah, we're definitely getting better week after week, and starting with our line. We have some inexperienced kids on the line that have stepped up. We have a senior lineman who we pulled off the track and field team. He's 6'7", 260 pounds, and never played a down of football in his life, and has been starting for us for the last 3 or 4 games, and is getting better and better every week. James Body, who should be playing tight end for us, plays tackle and guard. Henry Detweiler, who saw some time last year. We just got Matt Mazawicki back from injury from the first day of pads in camp. So watching the line gel, and those are the same guys that are seeing time on the defensive line as well, do great things for us and improve and come together to help Samir buy time and for us to run the football. And that's the other thing we've been able to do a lot better, is run the football, and getting Tucker Lloyd back a couple weeks ago has helped solidify our run game. So, but like you said, I mean, it's been great, obviously, to see Samir get better and better every week, and people are like, wow, he's getting better, and he is. He's as a quarterback last year, he's more of an athlete at receiver and running back and being dynamic on the outside, but he's also now learning the quarterback position and improving there. But the guys that have stepped up, like Jackson McMullen, Landon Honick, has been a big play receiver for us. Jackson has been, a tight end, a receiver, and actually got a little time at running back this week. He's a senior. We only have 3 seniors, and he's one that has really stepped into a role and found and has gotten comfortable in our offense and defense to make a lot of big plays for us. So it's just awesome to see us improve week after week with the kids that have stepped up and define their roles and see them excel at those roles.
And rounding into form at the right time, I would say, because the matchup against Jeannette is always highly anticipated. Even when the teams aren't great teams, it's a rivalry matchup. But this year it has significance because both teams are in the playoff picture. Both teams are striving to make a postseason run. So getting that 44-27 win, I know, had to be very satisfying for you, the players, the entire GCC family. What does it mean when you're able to defeat Jeannette?
It was big. I mean, the history obviously goes way back, and being right up the road and having that rivalry is what makes sports special. Yankees, Red Sox, and Duke and North Carolina. Now we got the Jayhawks and the Centurions. So it's always you don't have to motivate our guys to get ready for that game, and they really stepped up. They were fired up. They had a lot of fun, and obviously having fun on the winning side of it. But I have a lot of respect for Jeannette and what Coach Pallone's doing over there with those guys. And we're kind of all in the same boat with limited numbers. We're all in the mid-20s, and finding ways to win games with the kids that we have that are stepping up, and our guys made plays. Came down to it, and at the end of the first half, where we got the safety and then the kickoff return for a touchdown, which just gave us a ton of momentum going into the second half, because they got a dynamic player in their quarterback in number 3. Obviously, if you watch the game, we had a hard time tackling him. He's a running quarterback that just he was flying around out there. We were slipping all over the place, and and he made it look easy. So we were able to get it a little bit more contained in the second half and pull it out. But I was proud of our guys' effort, the grit, determination that we showed throughout the game, and made the plays, enough plays to win it.
Well, you talked about all these different players stepping up. Certainly, it's still Samir Crosby at the end of the day who's going to lead your charge, and that was the case against the Jayhawks. He accounted for 5 touchdowns. You said he's improving as a quarterback. That's probably a scary thought for the rest of Class 1A. What makes him so special, not just as a player, but as a person?
Oh, he's just an all-around, great person. Like I've always said in all these interviews, I always start with that. I mean, he is obviously he's a talent. He's got multiple Division I offers. His, play does all the talking. You could see it. He just jumps off on film, but him as a person is even better. Just he's humble, quiet. You'd never know it, and just helps out throughout campus, with the team, with the guys on the team, trying to improve, help them get better. Whatever we need done as far as volunteering in the school or whatever we're doing, he's always the first one to step up. So and never complains, never says a word, just is happy to step up and be to help out in any way possible.
So I know when I talked to you before the season, you said 2023 you thought was a success because the team not only made the playoffs, they won a playoff game for the first time in about a decade. That's a major accomplishment. I would imagine, however, you probably have learned a lot from when you started your time as a high school coach at GCC. So year number 2, how have you made strides in progress?
It's been great. It's been a great experience. And last year I was spoiled. I had a very senior heavy team who, helped me learn, at the high school level and what it takes as far as practice time and preparation, those things, because it's obviously a lot different from the college level. But now that they helped me again, transitioned here to a very experienced team to a little bit more inexperienced team. And we're heavy with freshmen and sophomores, and obviously every year is a different team. And the preparation for them and keeping things simple as possible for them, because again, they're the stresses of everyday life, of school, and then there's football. And having that perspective has helped me. And us as coaches, I think I got to mention Aaron Detweiler, our offensive coordinator, has done an awesome job with our offense, preparing our players each week, and keeping it, like I said, keeping it simple and not grinding them out on the practice field for 2 hours a night, where we've been able to cut that back to help them have a life and a schedule that is more conducive to them and being successful in the classroom and in school and other activities that they're involved with, and also having fun. It's about that. And we had a long team meeting not too long ago, and it was just like we won a game and we're all miserable. It's like, what's going on, man? This is supposed to be fun. And we had a long team meeting about it. We talked about it, and it's like, guys, we just won a game, and I'm looking at you at the end of the game, and everybody's got their head down. It's like, all right, what's up? So we had to do some self-reflecting as a coaching staff, and then opened it up to the players and let them talk. And I think that was, a huge change in our approach and attitude as a team, as coaches, and as players going forward. So hopefully, we can keep this momentum going.
Well, speaking of the momentum, we highlighted the 3-game winning streak, but your team has kind of run the full gamut this season. You've had 2 wild games, the first 2 of the season, that came down to the wire, a win against Shadyside Academy and a shootout, a narrow loss in overtime against Mount Pleasant. And then you had a game postponed and ultimately canceled because of weather against Apollo Ridge. And then you were on the wrong side of a blowout against Clairton on their homecoming night, their only game this year at their home field. So you've kind of been through it all. What has the team learned through the highs and lows so far this year?
We don't give up. They don't give up, and no matter what the scoreboard says, it's 0-0, and we just got to keep grinding and play 48 minutes. It's going into it, like I said, that Shadyside game. We didn't expect that. We knew they were a good football team, but you never know what you're going to get in the first game. in 46-40, it was like, holy cow, how'd we win that one? And we found a way to win. Yeah, then the weather game with Apollo Ridge it was even pretty much, throughout, to the half. I mean, we were up by 7 at half, but unfortunately the weather came in and spoiled the rest of the game for both of us. And so, then on the other side of it, yes, taking a tough loss. But it was the perspective that we had to keep as a team and keeping our heads up, that, reminding them that we are a good football team. I mean, it was 14-0 at the half, and then we lost 3 starters to injuries at halftime, and basically had to, it's no excuse. I mean, we lost the game, but, threw some guys out there that it was a eye-opening experience for them, and welcome to high school football. But I think it helped them and us overall, after that game, to get to where we are now.
And where you are now is a team with a winning record, and you have a chance to add to it this Friday against Springdale, a team that has really struggled, to be honest. I know the Dynamos, much like you mentioned, your team battling roster attrition, that's really been an issue for them. They also do not have a home field right now, so this game will take place at Burles High School and the Burrell Buccaneers Stadium. What will be key against Springdale for your team to take care of business?
To do that, take care of business ourselves, and make sure that we can, we are prepared, that we're ready to go. And you never take any opponent for granted, or, you always respect your opponents, and we can't take, I know they are struggling, but they're playing hard. Those kids are playing, and the coaches, I'm sure, are coaching hard, and they want to get a win, and they're going to try to do everything they can. So we've got to make sure that we go into it ready to play. And then give our best effort, like we should every week.
Well, JT, thanks so much for giving the time. We appreciate it as always, and good luck this week and beyond.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
That is John Thompson, head coach of Greensburg Central Catholic. We'll take a quick break and continue after this on Westmoreland on the Gridiron.